It is simultaneous equation. So the word simultaneous simply means to do more than one thing at the same time. For example, to do two things at the same time or three things at the same time. So when we say we are doing simultaneous equations, there are two methods. The first method, which I'm doing now, is called the elimination method. So here we are trying to eliminate one of the variables that we are dealing with. The variable can be x, can be a, can be y, can be b, whatever, q or p. And then there is also what we call the substitution method, which I'm going to do later on, not now. So elimination method, the question will be like this to you. It will say calculate, or it will say solve for x and y simultaneously. And then perhaps you can specify and say using elimination method, or it might not specify. So if you understand this one better and the question is workable, you will do the method. But if they say using elimination, you are forced to use this type of a method. So here's the example. Number one, they can give you something like x minus y is equals to 0, and 2x plus 3y, let me just say x plus 3y is equals to 4. So these two equations, when you solve them, I'll come this side. When you solve them, the solution to them is for elimination method. The first thing, you label the two equations. You can make this one to be equation 1. And then you can make this one to be equation 2. You get what I'm saying? And then I will advise that you rewrite them in order for them to be proper. For example, here I started with x. Even the second one, I want to start with x. I followed by y. Even the second one, I want to follow by y. I have a 0 at the end. Perhaps I want to have a 0 also. That means I'm going to transpose this 4. You get what I'm saying? So I'll try to fix it and transpose the 4. So it will become something like this. So I can make it my new equation 2. Still the same, but just that I transpose the 4. Then, once they are written well, I rewrite them here for the sake of simplicity. I rewrite them here. So I want to check if I add or subtract one of these two equations, like I say equation 1 minus equation 2. Is there a variable, x and y, one of them, is there a variable that will disappear, be eliminated? How can it disappear? An example, when I have x minus x, the answer is 0. That means x is no longer there. You get what I'm saying? But if I have 3x minus x, the answer is 2x. You see that x is not eliminated. Yes. And then sometimes I will say x plus negative x. It will be 0. Because positive times negative is negative. So it means that we are using only subtraction and addition to try and check which one will eliminate. An example. Let us look at y. Can I get rid of it? If I say negative y plus 3y, it will never give me 0. If I say negative y minus 3y, it will never give me 0. That means y is not really eliminatable here, or else I will have to manipulate the equation. But when you look at x, I can eliminate it. How can I do that? By saying minus. Therefore, I don't minus just x, I minus 1 by 2. So I minus the two equations. Everything, I minus it. So I will say x minus x, 0. Negative y minus 3y. What is the answer? Negative? No? Negative y minus 3y. Think about it. It will be negative 4y. We are okay with that? Yes. It will be negative 4y. And then there is no number here. You see that? Yes. That nothing is 0 minus 4. What is the answer? 0 minus negative 4. Think about it. Let's use a calculator. When there is no multiplication of numbers, we are multiplying symbol operations. What is the answer? Positive 4. You see that we need those grinders to work.
Yes.
0 minus 0, 0. You see that here x is eliminated.
Yes.
I'm left with only y, that is unknown. So I will say negative y plus 4, negative 4y plus 4 equals to 0. Negative 4y equals to negative 4. I divide both sides by negative 4. It cancels. I'm left with y equals to. Let's not guess. Y. I'm not done. They said solve for x and y. I just found y. So I go back to the equation, one of the two, and substitute 1 into it. For example, equation 1 says y, x minus y equals to 0. My y is found as 1. So I'm going to say x minus 1 equals to 0. Therefore, x equals to 1. We see that? Yes. Then let me give you another example where we have to do some manipulation. So it is still going to be solving for x and y, but a different manipulation. Guys, in maths, we don't guess. If they say 3 times 4, don't guess. Don't just say 12. You must actually make sense out of it to say it is 12. Because there are 3 4s in 12. So number 2, example number 2, we say 2x plus 3y equals to 5. Or perhaps let me just make it 7. And 2y minus 3x is, check, plus 4 is equals to 0. So these are the two equations. So let's see how it works. So the solution for number 2. What is the first thing I will do? I'm gonna? According how?
We are going to have the first sum and the second sum.
I'm gonna have the first equation and the second one. Okay. So let me have the first one. 2x plus 3y minus 7. Let me put minus, let me just write it as a whole. Equals to 7.
Yes.
That is it.
Yes.
And then the other one is 2y minus 3x plus 4 is equals to 0. And what is next?
You have to transpose. We have to choose whether
Which one am I transposing?
7.
First equation. How do I know it's first equation?
Because we have to choose between the two equations. So we are going to say, okay, for my side, we are going to say the first one is the first equation.
How do you know that is first? There is a step you jumped. First thing you do when you answer it.
You have to put the x's at the same place and the y.
Before that one.
I don't want to say.
Okay, this one is equation what? How do you know?
Because I took it.
Because actually I can make this equation 2 and make this equation 1. So the first step is to label the equations. First step, label them. This is 2, this is 1, this is 1, this is 2, it doesn't matter. Because they said this one and this one. So any one of them can be equation 1, any one of them can be equation 2. And then the second step is to start with the same variable to make it easy for me. So I'm going to start with y for both of them. This one is 2y minus 3x plus 4 equals to 0. This is, I choose this equation 1. Whereas this one, I must start with y. That means I'm going to start with 3y plus 2x. I transpose the 7, it will be negative 7 equals to 0, equation 2. When I look at y, can I be able to eliminate it? No. I look at x, can I be able to eliminate it? No. Therefore, I choose one of them to manipulate because both cannot eliminate easily. I'm going to choose y to manipulate. How do I manipulate it? I take this coefficient, I multiply the entire of equation 1 by 8. So I'm swapping the coefficient. And I take this coefficient, I multiply the entire of equation 2 by 8. So if I multiply everything by 3, what becomes the answer here? 6y minus 9x plus 12 equals to 0. This is still my equation 1, but it is a new. And then here, 6y, because it's 3 times 2. 6y plus 4x minus 14 equals to 0. Equation 2. Now, is it eliminatable? Yes, because 6y and 6y, I can minus them. But here I was not able to minus them. Hence, I had to manipulate by multiply. Like I take the coefficient of this one, multiply that one. Take the coefficient of this one, multiply the bottom there. Someone who chose 3, who chose to eliminate x, was going to multiply everything here by 3, which is this 3, and everything here by this 2, and then come up with new equations. So here I minus, I'm going to get what? 0 minus 9x minus 4x. Use a calculator, please. Use a calculator. I told you we don't guess. Negative 13. And then 12 minus 14. 12 minus negative 14.
Negative 26.
Is positive 26. Is equals to 0. Therefore, negative 13x equals to negative 26. Divide both sides by negative 13. X becomes 2. Then I go to one of the equations, perhaps this one, 2x plus 3y equals to 7. Where I see x, I put 2. 2 into 2 plus 3y equals to 7. This is 4 plus 3y equals to 7. 3y equals to 7 minus 4. 3y equals to 3. Therefore, 3y being equal to 3, I divide both sides by 3. Then y will become 1. I have solved for x and y simultaneously. Proper. Yeah, don't guess, guys. Don't guess. If I'm saying negative 2 minus 4, what is the answer? Don't guess.
Negative 6.
Negative 6. You are guessing. Why? You go to do the calculator. So we'll still need to do a lot of these things so that your brain can get used to working with negatives that are multiple. Because at the moment you are guessing, and that is what makes you to get wrong answers. Because if you say this is negative 6 already, your entire question is wrong. Unless by mistake it was supposed to be like you do 2 mistakes that fix each other, which is very rare. There's a probability of 1 out of a million. So it's proper. I will send the homework.